Accepts it now.
Okay. Yeah. And then we'll share the links to you too, so you can, find it.
Okay.
Oh, when you get a chance, can you send me the link to the co-op's anniversary video? I
Yeah.
never seen it. Okay.
Okay. Twitch has accepted the stream.
Okay.
YouTube has accepted the stream. Facebook has accepted the stream.
Okay.
You got your timer set to, I think you set it to 55 minutes, don't you?
Yep. Just tell me when to start.
Okay, so what I want you to do then is when you're ready to go on the air, clap your hands in front of your microphone and you're on the air.
Hello and welcome. You are now listening to Talking Peace with the Western New York Peace Center. I am your host, Deidra EmEl, Executive Director of the Western New York Peace Center. And today we have a wonderful guest, Jennifer White from the Lexington Co-op. She's our marketing and communications manager of the Lexington Co-op, which, we're gonna just discuss about, the importance of co-ops and affordable food, fresh affordable food and local foods, and what the co-op is doing right now to help make that happen. So before we get started, we always love to give thanks in the indigenous and African traditions, North American traditions, indigenous traditions, to just give thanks for the earth, to give thanks for the fowl in the air, the fish in the sea, the animals. And I love to give thanks for the love, pure love, and charity people can have and do have towards one another. And when we see that, let's praise it, let's lift it up, let's give honor to whom is due, and just let love and justice just abound, coming from our hearts um, and into our communities, into our homes. And so we just give thanks for, for the sun. The sun was beautiful today. The air was crisp. And we give thanks for the clouds. We give thanks for just the universe, everything in its rightful place, everything in its order. Um, and so we say Nawe after we give thanks, and the people will say Nyo in our Seneca Indigenous brothers and sisters tradition. So thank you, Jen, for sharing with
Thank
us
you.
today.
Thank
Welcome.
you. That was so beautiful. That allowed me to take some deep breaths and center myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really appreciate the mindfulness and presence that you're bringing to this discussion. Thank you. I love
Mhm.
that.
Thank you. Yeah, we had to, we have to do that
Hmm.
because, we're still going,
Yeah.
it's a long day. We still are, pushing forward. Um, but we have to take that time, and I appreciate, just touching, basically like touching the earth and
Hmm.
connecting.
I
Um,
know our connection to nature,
yes,
our
yeah,
connection to everything. I
yes,
agree.
most definitely. So, what values do you want to bring to our conversation today? With the whole idea of co-ops and or cooperatives, what values you want for people to remember?
I think values that I want people to remember are the first thing that's coming up in my mind is community.
Hmm.
That's one reason why I came to the co-op, because I wanted to help build that sense of community. And concern for community is one of uh, the principles that not only Lexington Co-op but co-ops everywhere are founded on.
Hmm.
It's really important to me. I feel very involved in our community. I've You know, I've started I've co-founded a nonprofit, and I do a lot of volunteer work, and I'm doing a lot of work currently to bring more of those community connections to the co-op, you know, with our staff, with our board, with our owners, with our partners, with our vendors, with our farmers. So community is really important to me. And then, you know, kind of in that same sense is, you know, the power of localism. You know, local businesses, local farmers, supporting our local economy, supporting our neighbors. You know, when we make choices economically that support the people around us, you know, that's powerful. You know, we're supporting our neighbor's livelihood, and you know, that's a cycle that, you know, all helps us live a better quality of life. We're all supporting each other. We're the city of good neighbors.
Right.
So, and then, you know, another, I would say a third value would be healthy and nutritious eating and access to fresh, healthy, local foods is really important to me. That's a value I like to, you know, live by in my life. I feel better when I'm eating fresh, you know, produce. I feel, you know, it's full of nutrients. It brings me back to how we just started the conversation and our connection to the earth, our connection to the world, you know. I think, you know, one of the things that I'm striving for at the co-op is, along with my team, and our community and our owners, is to help build a stronger, more equitable local food system where accessing food is, you know, something that is easier, something that, you know, people don't have to just survive on, you know, what is available to them. You know, I want to hopefully increase access to foods and get healthier foods on people's tables. And that's one of the things we'll talk about with the Double Up Food Bucks program today too.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely, you know, ditto. Wonderful. Yeah, community is essential to me. And when there isn't community can be created through mutual needs, and mutual ways to give of what we, you know, of what we have, and to support, you know. So, you know, I want to bring the values of support, of affordability, and communication, I would say, and education, because I think that, you know, the first things, you know, sometimes when we're not educated on how things work and how things kind of come to be, we just see what's on the surface, and we, you know, we get frustrated or we get aggravated and we say this isn't working or no one cares about us. But when we start to understand, you know, economy, when we start to understand, you know, politics and different things like that, then we begin to understand the larger cycle, you know, of things, and hopefully with understanding, then we can be empowered to start to change things for the better. So I think education is extremely important, and sharing the, you know, information, of course, that communications piece, to me, is extremely important when it comes to co-ops and why, you know, they're important. So therefore, we're doing what we're doing. You know, we are attempting to share this information via, you know, Twitch and YouTube and radio waves and Facebook, and so, and hopefully you can go into your local co-op and say, you know, why should I join the co-op? You know, what are the benefits? Every time I ask, when I go through the line at the co-op and I, you know, hear the cashier ask, "Are you a member?" I want to, and they say, "Oh no, I'm not a member." I want to turn around and just like, you should become a member.
Why
Do you know
aren't you a
why?
member? Yeah.
You know, like have these, 5 reasons
Right.
why, kind of thing. But I'm just like, no, mind your business. I have that times, but I just like, mind your business and but just encourage people, why they should be, a part owner. So so going back to you and your experience, going back to what is a co-op, can you share with us your understanding of what a food cooperative is in this instance, the type of co-op that Lexington Co-op is?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So I'll just preface this with I've been at the co-op for a year. So I'm still learning co-op culture. But I learned that it really is about community, and it's about economic participation, democratic member control.
Mm-hmm.
It's about education, training, and information and sharing consumer issues. It's about having concern for community. What I'm kind of listing right now are the principles that all co-ops everywhere are governed by,
Mm-hmm.
and there are multiple different types of co-ops. The Lexington Co-op is a consumer co-op, meaning each member owner has a stake in the organization. You pay a one-time $80 investment, and you are a part owner of the co-op. You can pay that off one time. You can pay that off in increments of $20 over the course of a year. And in profitable years, our member owners receive patronage dividends.
Mm-hmm. I have received before.
Yes, let's
Not
go.
every year, but I have.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Member owners vote on board members, and just also have access to owner deals throughout the store. And we have hundreds of products on owner deals every month, and we're constantly looking to expand the benefits of ownership and offer engagement opportunities, educational opportunities. So for example, right now we have a winter cooking class series that we're partnering with Massachusetts Avenue Project with. Yeah, it's really fun. They have a commercial kitchen in their building, and their kitchen manager, Bethany, she's fantastic. Yes. We've done kimchi classes. We did a kimchi class.
I wish I'd, I've been wanting to do it. I told them like, you should do it. And they was like, okay. And then I missed it.
So fun. So fun. We have such a great time. We learned so much. Food preservation is, a really great tool to save money right now. I know that we're talking about ways that we can save. Food preservation class. The next one coming up is a galette make and take, which is a pastry. Okay. And we just did a cornbread and sukuma wiki, food from the African diaspora.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So cultural cooking classes, and this is something that is offered to owners as a benefit. So things like this, we're looking to expand these types of benefits more to owners.
Is there a cost for non-owners, or is there a general community fee, for the community?
Yeah, we also do classes in the store at our Hurdle Cafe that are open to all community members.
Okay.
These are pretty affordable. We have an amazing bakehouse staff that are just I like to call them world-class bakers, because they, if you've ever had our pie or any of our baked goods, They're top notch. I mean, you can't get these types of like scratch made goods with local, organic, fresh made ingredients anywhere else. I mean, this is, you know, home cooking at its finest. So yeah, we've done baking classes, pie classes in the store. And we did a Christmas cookie decorating class with kids over the winter. So yeah, we're expanding those kinds of opportunities. Mostly, I think it is really a feeling too. You know, when you shop at the co-op, it's one of the benefits that I hear a lot of people sharing is it just feels good. You know, we have an incredibly friendly and passionate staff who are really educated on the products and the farmers and the business owners that we partner with. We have a staff that really cares. And
I talk to them often.
Good.
At least at the Elmwood location. I do let them know what I think, all my 2 cents without writing it down on the 2 cents board.
We appreciate it. We love feedback. That's another benefit. You know, you can speak directly to us, give us your feedback. You know, ultimately a co-op serves the needs of the community. We exist to serve the people in our community. So, you know, when you have a stake in that, then you have more economic power and more power in your community.
And I think that's why I feel I can be more vocal, because I'm like, I know how much I support this store, and I know, you know, I'm a, you know, part owner, and I might not be on the board right now, or I might, you know, but I know, you know, right now, but my voice should count, you know, because we are invested. Our family has been invested into the Lexington Co-op since 2000.
Wow.
Something like that, for at least 20 years. And there are many others that is over 20 years since its inception, have been members and supporters. And I just want to say with cooperatives, like you said, it's many different kinds. We are a consumer co-op. You know, and there's pros and cons to it all. But one of the main things for the creation of the cooperative was, as far as the food cooperative or consumer cooperative in this instance, especially in the 60s and 70s, was having access to organic foods at affordable prices. So, you know, you started with these buyers clubs that in really before the 60s and 70s, there have been mutual aid networks and even Black cooperatives in the city of Buffalo in the early 30s and 40s. So co-ops in Buffalo in particular have been around for a very long time. But it's all about the people support, because if you don't have the people support, you know, it, you know, falls apart. And, but basically, you know, that's what I really loved about the co-op and, you know, or the idea, you know, of the co-op about, you know, making, you know, creating access to fresh, organic, you know, local foods. And so I'll tell you this, just to give you a little history.
Okay.
You probably heard this when Lexington Co-op was on Lexington Avenue in Buffalo. So, you know, that's where, you know, generally where it got its name. You know, because it was so small, basically, and when you're a buyer's club, this is how you can save monies, what have you. So the buyer's club turned into a store, because when you have access foods. So let me go back. So a buyer's club, you basically buy in bulk together. So you got 5 families, you know, we can get cases of cereal and cases of, you know, bananas, and, you know, and divide amongst the families, and you save your money by buying bulk, you know, basically, right? And then you also start to save because you could work in the co-op for an additional percentage off of your groceries. And then the other, part, was having like bulk grains and seasonings and those things that's like kind of weekly, having those accessible, in the store instead of, all this, prepackaged things that are higher priced because of the packaging and that kind of thing. So like staple foods, so your beans and your grains and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that you could work, for a percentage off, of your groceries. You already got a percentage off just being a member. So now it becomes, affordable. You might not grow everything, but you can at least, purchase together and invest in something that you can, be supported, that your family can be supported, as well. So I really enjoyed that. I remember seeing it grow from there, to Elmwood. And again, there's pros and cons. Not getting into the weeds,
Sure.
but I understand too, as far as the the market and why Elmwood and that kind of thing. And what I like is that even though we can't do what we used to do as members, I still, when I walk in there and I see the carts all over the place, I say, I'm a member. I want to see my co-op, organized, or we need disinfectant wipes, like when I walk in there, I feel like, yes, I am part owner and I want to see certain things done around.
I don't think anybody would stop you if you wanted to do that, Deidra.
I know, it's like they know by name over the phone. It's so funny. Oh yeah, we got that, Deidra. I'm like, how do you know it's me? Oh, I know your voice, So,
you can bring in the cards. Yeah, you can write them down.
Cards down,
Yeah.
So it's so funny, but I think that's why I love it, because I do know it becomes a community within itself. Of course, you got like the Elmwood Village community space, and you have different what do you call it, like sub community, different other communities that come into that space, and you meet each other in the co-op, and you say hello, and you say how's the family,
Right.
And everybody generally is connected or knows the other, and that's what I truly love, love about having that local space, that meeting space,
Right.
of ideas or not, controversy, oh, let's, go back and forth, but let's have it over pastries and, and coffee from the co-op.
All around food. Yeah, we all need to eat.
We all
right?
need to eat,
Yeah.
But that's what I really love about it. And so looking at tell me more about the Double Up Your Bucks program.
Yes.
I really like this. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Double Up Food Bucks. Well, first of all, I just want to speak to the community aspect that you talked about, being in the store just really quickly. You're on the sales floor and you run into everybody, you just, and that is a great feeling. That, it's like everybody knows your name kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we are working to expand that type of feeling to more and more communities, whether or not, we've switched from worker co-op to consumer co-op, but nonetheless, the Double Up Food Bucks program is something that the co-op has started in 2020, working with a partner organization called Field and Fork Network.
Okay.
The Lexington Co-op was one of the first, I think the first grocery store in New York State actually to operate the program. First retail location. So it started mostly in farmers markets.
Okay.
And in 2020, we started at both co-ops, and how it works is SNAP participants can receive access to more fruits and vegetables for free. So it extends their food budget, and it's eligible on, the focus is on fresh produce, and and we have an abundant local produce in season at the co-op. And we are promoting right now a relaunch of the campaign of the program. In 2020, we since 2020 to now, the Double Up Food Bucks program has been so successful. It's increased access for so many people. We've had sales to SNAP participants have doubled at the co-op since the program started. We've had 1,400 participants total enrolled in the program, who've saved a collective $100,000 on local produce. Yes. So it's really incredible. It's something that everyone at the co-op is really passionate about. And for the past couple of months, we've been working to educate our Double Up Buck participants on a change to the program, to be in more uniformity with how the rest of the program operates at other locations. So switching from basically a straight 50% off discount, which is capped at up to $10 per day, it's now operating under an earn and redeem model, but the cap is extended to earn up to $20 per day.
Okay.
And some of the benefits of that are participants can have more autonomy and more flexibility over their budget. So, kind of one thing that we understand about SNAP usage is, you might run out by the end of the month, right?
Yes, more likely.
Right.
Yeah.
So the autonomy in this program is that you can choose how much you use, and you can choose when you use it. So, say it's the beginning of the month, and you have what you need for now. You're going to need it more at the end of the month. So you can just say, I'm not choosing to use any of my Double Up Bucks right now. I'm going to wait. I'm going to save it towards the end of the month. And when your benefits run out, you can choose to use your entire balance. You can choose to use only a portion of your balance. You can choose whatever you need.
So let me make sure I'm understanding it clear. So before, so each SNAP participant has a certain amount of Double Up Your Bucks monies, or a budget each month already. Is that how it works? And then they can use so much of that per day, or use so much of that per month?
Sort of, I think. Okay. So the way the program worked previously is you have to use your EBT card to purchase the produce. But you could get 50% off up to $10 per day.
Okay.
And the benefit now is that you don't need to use your EBT card on purchases. So if you run out of your EBT benefits, you can still use your Double Up Food Bucks balance, which you earn by buying produce. So you use your SNAP card. Say you buy $5. You come into the store. You buy some bananas. You buy some lettuce. You get what you need, and say you spend $5 on produce that day. You, by spending that $5, you earn $5 that goes into your Double Up Food Bucks balance that you can use on your next visit.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So on that time, let's use that $5 example. When you purchase like $5 worth of food there, can basically you get another $5 worth that day. Basically, that's the double, like, getting it
Yes.
50% off. So instead of one bunch of bananas, I can get two bunches of
Mhm.
bananas for the price of one.
You can't earn that. You can't redeem those on the same day.
Okay.
They
Okay,
go
that's
in,
the change.
that is the change.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I used to, like, promote it and stuff, and like, so people get,
Hmm.
double, basically, one, two for the price of one type of thing.
Right.
So
Right.
now they can't redeem it that day, but
That
they can
day.
redeem it near the end of the month where they have accumulated so many
Correct.
bucks. Okay.
Yeah. So that is, and that is the change that we are, working to educate people on.
Yes.
There are a lot of questions. There's a little bit of confusion
Mhm.
that we're working through right now, because with change is always hard, no matter
Right.
what. But
Right. But I like the idea. And like you said, when people run out, because I know,
Mhm.
so many families that will run out, and elderly will run out of food, food stamps, run
Mhm.
out of SNAP, near the end of the month. And they go to the pantries, and, we figure out how to support them. And, but knowing that you have a credit, like,
Right.
oh, I have $20 worth of credit at, the co-op for my, for greens, and,
Right.
and that kind of thing. I can just go there and say, hey, how much is on my credit, and just get what I need,
Right.
So I think that's awesome. you know um,
Yes. Thank you. And
it's a good supplement.
we're and to help with this transition right now, we've worked to have some even greater value on our produce department right now.
Okay.
We work with a local distributor who is passionate about the program too, who's working with us on costs and
Mhm.
reducing them even further. So
Great.
we know that it can be a change that might be a little bit difficult at first, especially if you can't, redeem some of those on the same day.
Mhm.
But if you for the entire month of February, we're extending those produce deals even further. So people are stretching their food budgets and experiencing a little bit more value.
Mhm. So how
And
are you getting the word out,
mhm.
other than our radio show?
Well, this has been a great opportunity so
Yeah.
far. So I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no problem.
Uh, I would say the past couple months have been really focused on current participants
Mhm.
and just educating that it's going to change and that it has changed, and getting everyone re-enrolled into the program. So that is one important thing. Everyone has to re-enroll by way of going to our website, lexington.coop, so lexington.coop, and just filling out a quick survey with your information so we can get everyone into our system.
Okay.
So the past couple of months have been really focused on that. And, if anybody needs help with that in the store, at the register, we have a way to do that right in the store too.
Mhm.
And as far as, expanding awareness,
Yes.
we're we have a lot of partners, and we are working to get the word out on a more strategic strategy as we move forward throughout the year. We learned from Field and Fork that there's 200,000 people on SNAP in Western New York throughout
Wow.
all the counties, and that there's only 29,000 people enrolled in the Double Up Food Bucks program.
Okay.
So, we know that is a huge opportunity to get the word out more and more.
Right.
Because this is just it really is a great program that people need to know about. So, some of the things that we want to do is continue to collaborate with some of our community partners, like Like I mentioned, Massachusetts Avenue Project earlier, they have a mobile market program, which is essentially a farmer's market on wheels that accepts double up food bucks.
Okay.
So, if you go to their website, you can look out for where their truck is going to be. That's one way. We want to work together with them to get the word out that you can access these benefits, the co-op too. One important piece of information is that while the Double Up Food Bucks program, Field and Fork, is working to expand where it operates, right now it is mostly available at in the season at these kinds of mobile markets and at farmers markets, which are not available in the winter. So Lexington Co-op is one of the only places that you can have that continuous access throughout the winter.
I was going to ask you that, where, all can, people go to get this benefit.
Right.
How can, what do your organizations, such as, let's say, the African Heritage Food Co-op, or even, let's say, the corner store, what do they have to do in order to be able to provide the same program? And is the Lexington Co-op willing and able to, help get it in other places?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, our mission and vision are based on principles of building a strong local food system, collaborating with our community, supporting other cooperatives, supporting our local businesses. So whatever that looks like, I think working with our key partners in collaboration is going to be necessary. I'm meeting with somebody from friend of mine from Feedmore, Western New York, about working together with their SNAP outreach coordinators to get the word out more. African Heritage Food Co-op is another great organization that we want to support. We actually had a staff retreat today at the Exchange at Beverly Gray.
Yes.
Where African Heritage has a space out of. And, there's just so much opportunity for collaboration. There's a lot of great organizations working together on the same things.
Right.
So I think the co-op as an institution has always been, I think, impactful in helping sharing those resources, helping kind of make connections in the community, helping incubate a lot of small and local businesses, So I guess, long story short, the answer is we are willing to do whatever it takes to help build a strong local food system. So.
Yeah, I think that, just seeing that program in so many other places, is the key. And of course, you want to come to the, Lexington support. And I would say that many people are budget would not consider the Lexington Co-op right away, because the prices are not like, let's say, a tops prices or what have you. But when we're looking at local, organic, some items being organic, I compare prices at least three or four stores, and usually on the fresh food area, the top will top for me, especially with our greens and the produce quality is better than other. Again, I really appreciate that the farmer that you work with, and what you used for the pandemic was have locals come in and have like small tables to talk about their produce or talk their local cheeses and so on, and sampling. And I would love to see that because I think that helps to promote their businesses as well as, letting people kind of see how they can put, these foods together. That's the other part too. Even if everything is so available and so affordable, does it get eaten? Do people buy enough food to really help, their health and support families? And I would say no. Just in general, I think a big part is, how do I use it? How do consume it? Is it how do you make it tasty? So going back to the classes you were talking about, Avenue, I read Bill they have health options where they have a kitchen, kitchen, just places that their recipe, how to utilize fresh food is so important.
Agreed. You're starting to break up for me a little bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. No, but I got the gist of what you're saying. I mean, it's not just about access to fresh food. It's, how do I prepare it that it tastes good? How do I make sure and preserve it? I mean, because how many times have all of us had a fridge full of vegetables that, don't last? Yeah, that just go to waste,
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a fresh, big, huge head of red cabbage over the weekend that, I'm like, what am I going to do with this huge head of red cabbage? A lot of times I just let it sit there until it goes bad, and then it's garbage, or you compost it, but
I should have made sauerkraut.
I know, exactly. Well, that's what
I was trying to how to make that.
Right. But and that's what I'm really excited about is, the education piece of it too. That's something, it's been a rough few years at the co-op since the pandemic. I think it's been a rough few years for everyone. But we feel the tide is changing a little bit. We're kind of getting back more to our roots. We have really ambitious and knowledgeable dietitians that work at both of our stores now that we are bringing back, doing nutrition tabling, and this is all part of the strong local food system.
That's great.
Meal prep, food preservation, and stretching your food budget that way. If you take all of your produce home and process it up, and you're more likely to use it then too. If I chop up all my cabbage and then I preserve it with vinegar, and now it's ready, and it'll be good in the fridge for months. I bring home my lettuce and chop off the bottom of it and put it in water. It's a plant.
Throw it. You're right. I think that's so awesome to see that, I got new leaves and I can just keep,
right
keep off of it and, have fresh, and people can do that in the winter right now. I think that is so cool. And having, like you said, having that, that information, I do another radio show. I co-host another radio show with Gail Wells and Della Miller on.
Oh, great. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, 96.5, and it's called Growing Health. And, we talk about, more so on the gardening end of things, and how, different vegetables and fruits and herbs and so on benefit the body, and how it also benefits the earth. And, and we talk about not, gardening, but also agriculture, also what's going on, with indigenous and, people of color owning land and having access to the land to grow our own, foods and so on. So, that's one of the things we talked about basically was how to, stretch that fruit and, vegetables that you already get, how you can regrow them, just from what you already purchased. And you can, how do you preserve that seed, for your growing season? or putting the plant right back in the earth, putting your lettuce back in and saying, okay,
Right.
keep
Yeah.
growing. Yeah.
This is crazy because, well, this is the second time Gail Wells has been brought up in a conversation today. So I think this is a message from the universe that
Yes.
I need to meet Gail Wells.
Yes, you do.
Um, uh,
Yes, she's
and
awesome. She's the founder of Freedom Gardens.
yes, I've
Mhm.
heard.
Mhm.
I need Gail. Are you listening? I need to meet you. But also what you were talking with access to land. Also, we met with Allison from Urban Fruits and Veggies
The
today.
homie, yes.
Dahoney from Urban Fruits and Veggies today,
Mhm.
and it was just an amazingly eye-opening conversation about the policies that exist that need to change in order to grant more access to land, especially for urban farmers, and
Yeah,
especially for BIPOC urban farmers
yeah,
right here locally.
right here
Um,
locally.
yeah. So that's something that myself and all of us at the co-op are learning more about today through
Mhm.
help from Allison.
Mhm.
And like what you were saying earlier, growing your own food. This
Mhm.
is another way that we can all stretch our food budgets and have more of a connection to the food that we consume.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to me, that's holistic health.
Mhm.
And that's actually another eligible item in the Double Up Food Bucks program is seeds for planting.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful. I was going to ask you that because I
right,
know some seeds are, for SNAP, you can buy, certain seeds. But I
yes,
was wondering with that, if you can buy seeds. And I think that's, like I said, I really support this program. I want to see it grow. It's about time.
yeah,
I know there was always something available, during the summer for, farmers markets, and it was kind of like a
right,
separate thing. But now, kind of being able to do that during, the winter and, in store,
right.
and the seeds, and I believe even the plants, right? If a tomato plant or like starter plants, is that also available on that Double Up Your Bucks as well?
Any plants that bear fruit is what is eligible. That's, yeah,
Wow. You hear that?
yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and we want to get the word out more. So, it's something that we're kind of putting all the pieces into play right now. We're connecting with partners. If there's anybody listening right now that wants to help be a partner in this program, like I said, we have partnerships with MAP and Feed
Mhm.
More, and even Big Table, which is a
Yes.
pay-as-you-can community cafe devoted to destigmifying hunger on the west side.
Beautiful.
There's a lot of partners that we want to bring together because like I said, there's just a need to grow awareness for this program. So we'll be out in the community this summer,
Good.
tabling at different events.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. Even though the Peace Center, we don't sell food or anything,
Mhm.
but we do support and understand how food, and people don't always connect these two together, with hunger and war,
Mhm.
and food accessibility and violence. And sometimes violence and war happen because of the lack of accessibility of of people's needs, whether it's food, shelter, clothing, and injustice in the government, and many times, which is almost every time in war, the access to food becomes non-existent, and just the basics. War affects the land, deteriorate, chemicals and so on can deteriorate the land, um, and having people and cut people off from their local farmers and stores, and bombing neighborhoods and so on. All these kinds of things cut people off from uh, accessing
Mhm.
their needs, especially food and water needs. So when our food is affected, it is an act of war, it's an act of violence. So it's very much, closely related to what we do at the Peace Center. And so you have an ally here.
All right.
We get the word out for you because we understand how important it is. I'm a urban homesteader myself and farmer, urban farmer, and I work with other organizations and on with my other hats on. So this is something I truly believe in as well. And I hope that everyone, would just, listen and call Jen up, go to the website, Lexington.
Lexington.co.
To get more information about double up your food bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And you also mentioned MAP, and I believe MAP is mass-av.org.
Yeah, I think so.
And I give you another history note. I worked for MAP for 7 years.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. What a wonderful organization.
Yeah.
They just do such great work.
Yeah, jobs in the community. Well, actually an internship with them, and I stayed with them for the next 6 years. So yeah, so I wholeheartedly support what MAP is doing, and they're teaching teenagers about local and international food systems, and why that's so important, along with their community gardens as well. So as many other organizations, that's happening. Freedom Gardens, you got to connect with Gail. I might have her on.
Gail.
We'll see if I can get her. Have her on so she can talk about Freedom Gardens and how it got started. And it got started through partly through listening to Leah Penniman.
Okay.
Yeah, Leah Penniman was our actual 2022 annual dinner speaker. And, she's the co-founder of Soulfire Farms near Albany, New York, BIPOC farm and community. So this is all interconnected, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited. I'm hoping that the Peace Center can help bridge different communities together that probably wouldn't bridge together, right away. So hopefully we can be a part of that process.
I would absolutely love that. I think that is a great idea. And can I give a plug for one more organization?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. I am also a volunteer with the Friends of Broderick Park.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily food focused, but it is community focused. And I think it's relevant to the conversation right now. Friends of Broderick Park. If you don't know Broderick Park, they're at the foot of Ferry. And it is an official, nationally recognized historic landmark as a, last stop on the Underground Railroad. And there is an Underground Railroad museum there. And it is a fully volunteer, community-driven effort to, create a space at the park, and that is available for people all around the city, visitors, residents, and it's been great. The last couple of summers, we've had a series of events there called Healing by the Water. There's a lot of healing that our community needs, and we bring that to the waterfront to connect around food, music. There's a lot of local businesses there. And it's all centered around this historically significant and sacred ground. And the Lexington Co-op is a sponsor. We'll be there again. We'll be down there talking about Double Up Food Bucks. The series is in July and August, but it really is coming together of a lot of organizations. So there's Co-op, Western New York Peacemakers, Feed More might be down there too. There's Delavan Grider Community Center. There's a lot of people that come together, and that's another thing that I love about, the community that we live in. It's all about working together.
I love that. Our Women's March was there at we went from Niagara and I think Auburn to Broderick Park for our Women's March last year.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and we had the march literally the day after the massacre,
Oh my
the
gosh.
Buffalo massacre, and it was such a significant space of healing and renewal and reflection, and it was just perfect. And it was just a space. It was such an interesting space to connect in that way, being a part of African American history, a part of Buffalo's history, and being in a healing space near the water. Having drums, we had traditional drums, our indigenous friends giving thanks, in that space. And it was just a beautiful time. And so please support Friends of Broderick Park and go and and experience the space because it's been renovated.
Yes.
In such a beautiful way. And so as we close, I want to speak on our Women's March coming up this year. We got a couple of things coming up. So our Women's March is March 26th. We'll be in downtown Buffalo. We're marching from Niagara Square to the Central Library. And our programming will be in the library's auditorium. So you won't have to stand in the cold to hear our speakers and our performers. You can be inside where it's warm. And we invite, organizations, to come out as well, maybe do some tabling in the foyer area. But that'll be March 26th, downtown Buffalo. Go to our website, WNYPC.org, to start to, gather some more information. Or if you'd like to speak, putting it out there or perform for us and in support of the Women's March, go to our website, WNYPC.org. And so this year it's about environmental justice and women against violence, and how violence affects, our environment. It's affecting, our, families and so on. So I would love the co-op, to continue to be a supporter of the Peace Center, as you have always been, and we appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Deidra.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on. This was a fun conversation, and you'll be seeing, more of Jen around town, or at least, her team.
Yes,
around town.
absolutely. I'll be out. Oh, I'll definitely be out. You'll see me. Yep. I'll probably bring my dog with me. I have a little 10-pound mini dachshund. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be fun.
But this has been such a great conversation. I really appreciate you having me, and I can't wait to see, what we can do together from here.
Most definitely. And we like to thank Richard Wicca, our producer and producer of Think Twice Radio. And of course, our friends at Buffalo State College, 91.3 FM. And you have been listening to Talking Peace. And we have been talking peace and love. Thank you so much. So that's it, Jen. You're off the hook.
We're off the air? Okay.
Well, we're still technically on the air, but he'll clean it up for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that okay?
It was wonderful. You did a great job.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great.
I get nervous. Sometimes I answer a question and I don't really know where I'm going with the answer.
It was great. Like I said, it's just, conversation,
okay.
And when it's something that we, care a lot about, and, we have, we usually have more knowledge about it, and it's just it's an easy conversation,
Okay.
When we were passionate about what we're, talking about. So, and I've seen that right through, right in.
That came through?
Yeah,
Okay.
most definitely.
All right.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
You wouldn't lie to me, would you?
No, no, and it's nice to talk beforehand, and
Yeah.
so we are all are already used to connecting and vibing. So
Yeah.
a
Okay.
little bit,
Oh my God. I just get really nervous,
Me too.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I still get nervous.
And you do this all the time.
I, yeah, I still have to kind of drum up the courage and kind of make it happen. And I'm like, I got to do my research. Oh my gosh, I try to read it beforehand if I can, on things. So I get nervous every time.
Okay. So you're gonna send me the links.
Yeah. So Richard's going to share the links
Okay.
with me, and then I can, I'll just forward them to you.
How do you want me to send you the link?
Oh, yeah, whenever you're ready, we're done. So
I
we
mean,
just
but should I send it through Facebook? Should I send the link?
the way you did before through text was good.
Oh, so I'm going to send it to Deidra. Deidre's going to send it to Jennifer.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. I'll do it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.